friends, today our topic on probability is based on the theorem of total probability. In the previous video lectures, already we have discussed about the classical approach of probability and also the addition law of probability from the mutually exclusive events, and also about the multiplication rule of probability from the conditional probability. Now, there are another type of events, that is independent events, and from that independent events we can find out the multiplication rule. Now today our topic is the theorem of total probability, and that is also a deduction from the conditional probability. So before establish the result, we start with the definition of partition of any sample space. Sample space means already we know the set of or the collection of all the outcomes from any random experiment. So what is a partition? A partition of any sample space is a collection of events, suppose namely A1, A2 up to AN is said to be in the partition of a sample space S if there are three properties which hold like that all the events A1, A2 up to AN, after the union of all the events give us the result of the sample space itself. So that is our first property. The second property, each and every event in the partition after intersection give us the phi. That means there is no common in the events which are in the partition of any sample space. So give us the result as phi or any null set. And the third one, each and every event must not be null. That means must not be phi. Each and every event has some outcome associated with it. So a partition is a collection of non-empty and non-overlapping subsets of any sample space. Let us discuss the once again partition with some diagram. We already known that the events union is the sample space itself. The definition is illustrated by the diagram. Suppose A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, those are the events associated with the sample space, that is S. Now look at the thing, each and every event is not phi. They are also not overlapping. That means there is after intersection we are getting not equal to phi. So we are getting phi. That means there is no common part between the A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6 or A7. And also the union of all the events give us the sample space. So the first one property is holding here. That means each and every event after union getting the sample space. There are no overlapping case. That means that is not always equal to phi. No common element or outcome from the two events. And third one, each and every event is not equal to phi. Each and every one event must be associated with some outcome. Now we are considering another event, suppose that is B. So those events A1 to A7 according to that diagram already has been occurred before. Now we are considering an event that is B within the sample space S. Then we can express B as the union of these subsets. What is happening here? Now B is occurring after the events A1 to A7 has been occurred. So what is B? If we look at the diagram, then we can say B is equal to after intersection with A3 we are getting that portion. So after intersection with A4 we are getting that portion. So that means we can say the B is equal to B intersection A1 union B intersection A2 union B intersection A3 up to B intersection AN. It may possible that B is not always getting intersected by each and every event, but some of the event, and which events which are not intersected by B is giving us the result as phi. But most important thing is from A1 to A7 has been occurred before, and after that the B is occurring, and we have described it by the shaded region. Now look at the once again for each and every bracketed events. That means B intersection A1, B intersection A2, that means up to B intersection AN are all mutually exclusive. That means if one occurs, then none of the others can occur. Once again, if we look at the diagram, that means B intersection A3, B intersection A4, B intersection A6, B intersection A5, all are particularly mutually exclusive events. So according to the addition law of probability, for the mutually exclusive events, we can say that PB is equal to probability of B intersection A1. That one has become union at first, but now that is according to addition law is now addition. That means the summation sign, plus sign, and P intersection up to AN. Now each of the probabilities on the right hand side, that means that portion, may be expressed in the terms of once again the conditional probability. What the conditional probability say? Now the conditional probability say P B by A is equal to P of A intersection B by PA, where A has been occurred before and B is occurring. So here also each and every A event it has been occurred before, after that the B is occurring. So we may write it as P of B intersection AI is equal to P of B by AI into P of AI for all I. And using these expressions in PB, we can elaborate the formula. That means here the first one, suppose P B intersection A1. So we may write here that in that way B intersection A1 is equal to P of B by A1 into P of A1. In that way already we have elaboratedly written the formula, that is PB is equal to P of B by A1 into P of A1 plus P of B by A2 into P of A2 plus P of B by A3 into P of A3 up to P of B by AN into P of AN. And in the notation we can write it as from I is equal to 1 to N, that is P of B by AI into P of AI. And this is known as the theorem of total probability. So in the next video we will discuss how the Bayes theorem, is obtained from the theorem of total probability, and that Bayes theorem is a very important in our general life also. We will discuss it in the next video lecture. Up to that, that is known as the theorem of total probability, and that is coming from the addition law of mutually exclusive events and also from the conditional events.